Gather round, my friends. Today I tell ye a story. The story of a great people. A people who through great tribulation became one of the most powerful civilizations of the known world. You know to whom I speak. The Valley of the great city, Tal Valloran. Long, long ago, in the ages before empires, the gods saw fit to form life upon the earth. Among them were the Dwarves, a strong, honorable people, small of stature, yet mighty in wit. In those ancient times, dwarven clans of Tir Na Druss were not so unified as they are today. Scattered across the continent, their natural distrust of others created divides, not only among other races, but among themselves. This division would almost become their downfall, as a storm of death and destruction was forming. The orc tribes of the wastes and hills, the swamps and deepest of caverns in the earth, once as disunited, war-torn and lost on a clear path, had been united by metal and blood, and in the iron fist of a cunning war master. The scattered houses of the dwarves soon saw themselves pillaged and their homes set ablaze. Their remnants scattered them to the winds in long winding caravans, doomed to forever roam the overworld and underpass alike. As nomads, reduced to displaced refugees, the dwarves surrendered themselves to lives of poverty and misery. Any permanent community they attempted to build quickly reduced to rubble and ash by the rampant evil of the land at the time. Using the riches plundered from the dwarves and other most unfortunate victims, the orcs and other twisted races soon gathered together a terrible horde. Under their sorcerer, elven leader, Gror the Betrayer, they marched on the greatest civilization of the time, the Lantean Empire. Mordred, the leader of the Lantean Empire, gathered his armies together on the western shores of Lake Gimme, engaging in the greatest battle of known history. Hundreds of thousands perished, including a dwarven cohort, surprisingly coming together to battle a common enemy. Mordred, even though victorious, died of his wounds. Gror, however, disappeared, never to be seen again. The battlefield, a twisted ruin, arcane energies, and clashing of armies, leaving the Lantean capital, El Mutir, a smoldering ruin. The plains surrounding, a cataclysmic wasteland, now known as Muteli. It was not until after this horrific battle that the great lone mountain just west of Mudeli, on which Tal Valloran now sits, ceased spewing red-hot molten rock across the surrounding plains as it had for thousands of years. The peoples of Tir Na Druss took this as a sign that a new age of peace and prosperity had begun. Before long, the now dormant mountain was aptly named Gror's Eye, as if in jest of the once powerful sorcerer who was defeated, never to scourge the world again with his cruelty and malice. Those who witnessed the transformation claim that a thunderous boom split through the firmament. This was followed by an intense blue fire streaking through the sky, hurtling directly into the red-hot inferno of the fiery mountain. The impact causing a cataclysmic explosion. Immediately after, transmuting the red-hot lava into a fading, vivid blue mass. Within hours, any remnant of the molten lava was gone, leaving ash and obsidian flash-cooled flows. There is much speculation of what actually occurred, as it has been heard across the world. The dwarves, however, believing it a sign from the gods. However, I will tell you my theory. I believe that after the Great War, Gror, having been defeated, summoned magical forces like never seen before. Using the aftermath of the battle to fuel a most terrible conjuration of energy, transforming himself into an ethereal celestial. After discovering that taking such form requires unimaginable energies, Gror entered the mountain of fire, siphoning the energy directly from the earth. I think Gror is there now, waiting, biding his time, gaining power enough to challenge even the gods. Woe be to us all, the day the dwarves delve too deep, disturbing the slumber of this most terrible power. That, however, is just my opinion. No one knows for sure what may have actually happened to Gror the Betrayer. It was soon after that the abnormally tall dwarf lord, Barag Broadaxe, of the family Valdai, was visited in his dreams by a figure from the ethereal plane, leading him to the slopes of Gror's Eye. He discovered something of the highest rarity, something that would change everything, something that would unite the dwarven clans and begin an era of prosperity. Vallorium, a hauntingly beautiful crystal of purple hue, an almost liquid crystal that resembles the stars, imbued with oozing magical energies that would give the dwarven people the ability to conjure the power of the ethereal realm. Under the resolute guidance of Barag Broadaxe, 9 noble dwarven families of Tir Na Druss forged an unbreakable alliance. The Valley, a name imbued with sacred significance, believed themselves chosen by the gods to unite their kin under a singular banner. From the very bedrock of existence, they sought to carve tunnels deeper than the roots of the ancient mountains and erect towers that would pierce the heavens. Their singular ambition to construct an indomitable citadel upon their cherished mountain, brimming with untold riches. First hundreds, then thousands rallied under the grand vision, determined to usher in an era of prosperity and abundance for their once beleaguered and war-torn kin, swearing never to be mere victims again. The Valley pooled their greatest intellects, erecting walls more resilient than the mightiest stones, crafting weapons of unparalleled strength, and cultivating industries that soon became the envy of all Tir Na Druss. Yet, this monumental endeavor was not born solely of their own might. Each of the 9 dwarven Valley families found themselves under the enchanting influence of the ethereal realm. The gods, through visions and dreams, bestowed advanced knowledge and techniques of engineering, craftsmanship, alchemical processes, and a myriad of other secrets, guiding the Valley toward their extraordinary destiny. The pride of Barag, the indomitable mountain, the glory of the dwarven realms, a plethora of illustrious titles has been bestowed upon this majestic fortress, yet none resonate as profoundly as the name gifted by the gods. Tal Valloran. In the tongue of the dwarves, Tal signifies citadel or great city, while Vallorium alludes to the ethereal realm of the dwarves and the countless ancestors who forged the Valley civilization. Thus, it embodies the essence of the eternal realm of dwarves. Tal Valloran's ascent to magnificence was fraught with formidable trials that tested the Valley's resolve to secure their cherished mountain. Here, I shall unveil but a few of the most significant events, along with the Valley Lords of that era, who,
through immense adversity, etched their names into the annals of Tir Na Druss. The first monumental challenge faced by the Valley arose in the wake of the heroic demise of Barag Broadaxe, who fell valiantly in combat against a fierce mountain troll in the treacherous Calreet Mountains to the north, ascending into the mantle of Val of the Valley was his eldest son, Beruun Hammerfoot. The loss of Barag sowed discord among the Valley, fracturing their unity. The 9 families, once bound by common purpose, succumbed to their age-old rivalries. Yet, even as Tal Valloran began to shape, the Valley had amassed considerable wealth from their mountainous domain. Their mines and industries flourished, and united in purpose, they found themselves basking in the glow of prosperity. As whispers of Barag's demise reached far and wide, the Valley found themselves enveloped in tumult, their citadel still in its infancy. Outsiders, sensing opportunity amid their fragility, united a coalition of myriad tribes and clans from the neighboring realms to lay siege upon the beleaguered stronghold. Yet, under the steadfast leadership of their newly anointed Val, Beruun Hammerfoot, the Valley commanded their kin to bear arms with one hand while wielding tools in the other, resolutely continuing their construction amidst the hail of arrows and the sporadic assaults that were valiantly repelled by the resilient dwarves. Unbeknownst to the Valley, these minor skirmishes served as mere distractions, diverting their gaze from a more sinister gathering, an alliance of elves, warring dwarf clans from distant mountains, and the fierce humans of the northern jarldoms had coalesced, launching a formidable charge against the most vulnerable point of Tal Valloran's defenses. It is said that on that fateful day, a staggering 50,000 souls were lost in a single blood-soaked clash at a breach no wider than 40 meters, leaving a grim testament of bodies that lingered in the air like a foul specter. In the chaos, the valiant Beruun Hammerfoot met his end, passing the mantle of leadership to his son, Beduun Ironhide. Emerging as a hero from the day's turmoil, Beduun garnered the loyalty of the other 8 lords of the Valley, quelling the inner discord that had once threatened their unity. Under his resolute guidance, the Valley flourished for many years to come, their legacy fortified by the trials they had endured. Allow me now to weave for you the tale of the singular matriarch queen to grace the illustrious Vallorium throne, Valet Eloa Shieldbreaker. At the pinnacle of Eloa's reign, a formidable coalition emerged. Norsemen from the northern Jarldens, titanic giants of the grassy steppe, the enigmatic werepeople of the Nito forest, and others, invading the storied kingdom of Thrace. The echoes of history resounded, for the Thracians had once harbored the displaced and beleaguered dwarven clans. The ever-memorable dwarves, bound by their principles of reciprocity, remembered both kindness and enmity alike. Eloa Shieldbreaker rallied the valiant host of Tal Valloran, embarking on a southeast march to defend their cherished allies. As destiny unfolded, dwarven clans from the far reaches of Tir Na Druss flocked to join the Valley host, swelling their ranks to nearly 100,000, the largest dwarven army ever assembled. They intercepted the Northern Coalition a mere 10 kilometers from the Thracian capital, Riverton. With unwavering discipline and formidable armaments, the Dwarven Legion surged forth upon the fields of Clandarth, shattering the enemy shield walls and cleaving through any giant, troll, or werewolf that dare oppose them. Thus began a relentless campaign spanning 3 years, fighting alongside the Thracian army to cleanse their lands of invaders. Through valor and strategic brilliance, Eloa Shieldbreaker etched her name among the greatest dwarven lords, having commanded the most successful dwarven army to ever march upon the earth. Our next tale, and the most recent, during the illustrious reign of Throrgruud the Dragonslayer, a shadowy whisper wafted upon the winds, echoing ominously just over 500 years past. For days, this haunting murmur persisted, penetrating even the depths of the mountains, where the valley had carved their many halls and winding tunnels. Then, as if summoned from the very depths of the abyss, great flightless fireworms surged forth unto the dark mines of Tal Valloran. Simultaneously, as though orchestrated by divine hands, the heavens above the dwarven citadel erupted with a thunderous roar. Hundreds of dragons, wyverns, and all manner of fiery beasts descended upon the great fortress, launching an overwhelming assault from every direction. With their defenses crumbling, the surviving Valley retreated to their fortified sanctuaries beneath the mountain. Yet Throrgruud stood resolute, leading his people with valor, personally slaying 8 dragons in the fierce conflict. The harrowing siege raged on for 6 relentless days. Then, Like a beacon of hope, the clarion call of a great horde resonated across the skies, heralding the arrival of the Beast Master Beruun legions from the Western Isles, descending upon their war beasts and phoenix companions. The fiery marauders were no match for the might of the Beastmaster legions. After 9 grueling hours of battle, what remained of the attackers slithered back into their shadowy burrows and hidden lairs within the earth. In eternal gratitude, Throrgruud Dragonslayer forged an alliance with the Pyrean Island Nation, one of only 2 races beyond their own whom the Valley would ever consider friends. No one can say for certain what incited the serpents to unleash their wrath upon Tal Valloran. Their gaze was not set upon the coveted valley treasure, nor the esteemed Vallorium. Driven by an insatiable thirst for destruction, they seemed intent on annihilating all life that graced the mountain's realm. Scholars of dracology hypothesize that it may relate to the cooling of their beloved molten lava flows, which once danced in fiery splendor but now lay mysteriously transformed into crystallized obsidian. This phenomenon, seen throughout the enchanted lands of Tir Na Druss, left the dragons and serpents bereft of their once cherished warmth. The reasons remain shrouded in mystery, yet I surmise the serpents sought to awaken the great mountain, Gror's Eye, to reclaim its former infernal majesty. Or perhaps the dragons harbored secrets unknown to the dwarves, driven to uncover the roots of their misfortune? We may never unravel this enigma, but this concluded the fabled war of 1,000 serpents. In the annals of time, these legendary chronicles I have shared unfold, made possible by the wondrous discovery of the precious Vallorium from the heart of the mountain. As intrinsic to Tal Valloran as the sun is to the azure sky, Vallorium emerges solely from the ancient conduits and cooled lava vents of the dormant Mountain of Fire. The dwarves, who lacked the magical prowess of other races, upon unearthing Vallorium, recognized its immense potential to elevate their kin to unimaginable heights of prosperity. The great minds of the valley, with divine guidance, devoted many years to research and experimentation, unveiling myriad ways to harness this formidable magic. Through intricate alchemical processes, they artfully infuse the essence of Vallorium into jeweled medallions, rune tablets, and a multitude of combinations, yielding astonishing results. From the power to reshape landscapes and communicate across the farthest reaches of all Tir Na Druss, to enveloping oneself in protective barriers, Vallorium irrevocably transformed Dwarven society, establishing Tal Valloran as the vibrant epicenter of Dwarven prosperity across all Tir Na Druss. Oh, how the hours have flown! It is time for me to take my leave. I extend my heartfelt gratitude for your attentive presence today. When next we gather, we shall delve into the flourishing legacy of the valley. For their culture, industry, religion, social strata, and countless wonders await our exploration. But let us save that treasure for another time. Wishing you a night filled with blessings, and may Elohim guide you on your journeys.